Hey guys, Alex here, and I'm going to share with you guys how I'll be using LangChain to make a blog researching assistant that we can utilize. It follows an agentic framework that is both able to reflect and create action, going from a search query, gaining relevant web search results, and creating or updating that summary. They recommend using it heavily, so we'll give it a go using that API. And we already have Llama installed, but if you don't, make sure you pull the latest version of Llama 3.2. First of all, clone the GitHub repo, and once it is ready, you can make any changes you need to do. We've made changes to prompts Python file to ensure that the goal has been changed here to create a blog using the summary of the web searches. And so open up a terminal and we'll start running what the README wants us to do. We begin with a Llama pool. Okay, we already have it up to date, so that didn't take too long at all. Generate a new one just for the video. And we'll put it in here. We'll run this in the bash command, and then we'll run this command. And this will clone all the research rabbit files that we need, and also build the UV Python VMV environment, and give us the links to the studio. The Smith studio is not opening, so what we'll do is we'll copy the link and run it in Chrome. It just seemed to not work in Apple's Safari browser, but it seems to be working fine here. And so now we can actually input what we want to research. In this case, I want to create a blog on the data was used to train Llama 3.2, and we'll just submit that into the agent, and it will start to work on generating that query. And we do see the search query, and it is actually getting us responses using the API. Created a summary to summarize our source. It's reflected on that summary. It's done more searching to get more information and summarize those sources, and will keep iterating on itself in a loop until it finds the correct answer for the query. This React model, which is review and act, is going to be quite amazing and used in a lot of agentic solutions coming into 2025. This is all running using a local LM as well, which is quite impressive. As you can see, it also does citations on the research, and now it's formulating it into a blog format. So I believe that would be its final run, now that it's in the format of a blog. It actually went through quite a few iterations, and because of the summary engine, always looking for gaps and biases. Now, we had a point here where the running summary had a good idea of the general query, but the reflection tries to look deeper into this and also changed the way the research came out. As you can see, the running summary towards the end started looking for a bit of the biases in the content being used to train Llama 3.2. And the final summary actually looked at all the different kinds of data biases, limitations, and implications for Llama 3.2. So it went into deeper and more critical research. You can see much earlier that it had a good answer for what trained Llama 3.2. But thanks to the reflection on summary, it looked deeper into the data behind it and started questioning further. The web search found more answers on this query. New summaries were created, and reflections got even more deeper. You can change the way the reviewer reviews the content and generates it directly in the code. So, the reflection instructions, I created an expert blog writer analyzing a summary about the research topic, which is your input. Now, what it does here is it identifies gaps or areas that need deeper exploration. Here is a very important state, which is the route research state. This is based on how many times it's been looping, and you can set the maximum web research loops. In this case, you must fine-tune the amount of runs if you want it to be more effective. In this case, 2 runs would have been enough. We do have access to our local LLMs, and you can select any of your Llama LLMs here. So if we wanted to try 5.4, we can just put the command here for 5.4 and do 2 loops. What data was 5.4 LLM trained on? With only 2 loops, this should give us a much more specific answer. This is a great use of Agentic AI that you can use in your day-to-day. It generates the query using the research topic, finds some resources, and gives us an answer. Pretty good. You can see 5.4 was actually a bit more complicated in its training than Llama 3.2. This is information I didn't even know about. This is actually pretty amazing, and stuff I didn't know about 5.4. This is a really good tool for researching. Let's talk about GPT Researcher now. This is much simpler and doesn't require as much setup. Just pip install GPT Researcher is all you need to do. So let's open it up in Collab and try and run it. We'll grab a new key, copy it into here, and we'll also do the same for the OpenAI key. We'll run the pip install GPT Researcher as well, and then we'll input this query to generate a research report using asyncio and the GPT Researcher pip library. As you can see, The agent has now begun working and searching for different sources and summarizing them. And now it is writing the comprehensive report using all the data sources it searched. And that's all there is to it. With the report coming out now, and it managed to find similar answers, but I felt that this was a bit more concise, as it didn't have too much of an abstraction due to the reviewing agent. It did the search first and summarized. So this is really cool as well, and a much simpler way to get answers. And finally, we'll have a look at Robo-Blogger. It utilizes a more direct AI workflow to generate content from a user input. This doesn't have a reiterative or react flow, and is probably a much better way to write blogs. So let's clone this and run View UV, a virtual environment. We'll take this same link and open it up in Chrome. And now we have our Robo-Blogger. It has configurable blog structure sections. And you can use transcribe notes here. Let's create a new text file now and call it AI Research Assistant.txt. And here I'll transcribe my own notes. I would like to write a blog about AI research assistants that leverage LangChain and web search tools. Full stop. It needs to talk about using agentic flows to reiterate on its own research summaries. We now have a transcription ready to go. Now we just need to reference it here in AI Research Assistant.txt. Hopefully it will find that file and use Anthropic's API. Oh, and it's done it. It started beginning to actually take that prompt and develop it into a blog. And now we actually have a very solid final blog and do a pretty good job of sourcing the information through Anthropic's API key to write multiple sections and complete the blog in almost no time at all. It properly defines how we should define and create an agentic flow of LangChain, and even provides simple code snippets. This is a really awesome tool as well, and great when running to write any kind of blog on a topic. Well, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe.